Hi, my name is Aria Macon, and I'm going to be talking about all of my historical art pieces. The first one is representing the scientific revolution. And to begin, we're going to show the moon, which has a telescope connected to it. And during the scientific revolution, this was a time where people began questioning their beliefs, whether or not they were for the church, which is right here, or for scientific thoughts, which are represented right there and right there, which were actual thoughts that happened and how they thought the world and the space worked. And for example, the adding signs and like the subtracting signs, this is representing the mathematicians that existed, while here, for example, if you can see that, he is taking his blood because this was a new method for scientists to get rid of bad blood, which they thought caused people to get sick. And here's the church, because it is actually, the telescope is looking down at the church because the science was proving everything from the church to be wrong. Okay, next art piece. We are going to start with the Enlightenment. This was a time of free thoughts. It was in the middle of the page, there was a large globe, and this is representing the intellectual movement in Europe during the 18th century. It's 18th century that led to a whole new worldview. In the bottom left, Francis Bacon, he's right here. He is representing, he was a strong believer, actually it's in the bottom right, my bad. He's a strong believer of the potions and like the scientific thoughts, because now they were allowing for their own thoughts. And then here, the world was just sort of confused between science and religion, and they didn't really know. So everyone just had their own ideas on what was happening. Okay, this is the French Revolution art piece. To begin, this is King James. He is actually holding a crown, and he's wearing one. He's not sharing with the other cabinets. This is a representation of absolutism, which was a big aspect of the French Revolution. And then here is a man. He is stressing over the 7 Years' War because it took literally 7 years long, and it was a very stressful battle due to like debt and a lot of unsettled issues. Here was King Louis, and he was the king for like I forgot how long, I'm pretty sure it was like just a few years, and he was just throwing around tons of money, just buying all sorts of things that were unneeded, while right there he's just throwing away the debt. He's not even worried about all the debt that he was just building up for the next king. And then here, it's showing that one vote per state were able to vote, like so one vote in every state. And here, this was an often practiced, the clergy, one of those, don't know how to pronounce it, and the noble, they would come together and make their vote together as one, so they would have a good vote they both agreed on. And then here is a French man buying some slaves, and you actually tax the peasants during the French Revolution, because there's this thing, it was just peasant like slave taxation, and they taxed the people who worked for them. So the people who were their slaves were still paying their owners, and it's a pretty bad time. And then here is an angry woman because she felt that she was not getting the correct right, and she wasn't satisfied with the decisions that the government had made for women and poor people. She felt that she didn't have much freedom of thought. Okay, last art piece is the Imperialism. And this art is 4 children taking toys from what seems to be an ordinary toy box. However, the toy box represents all of China. So in here, just imagine that this is China, and everything in it is everything that they created throughout the time, such as like foods and new inventions for finding things, and each children represents a different place. For example, this is Japan, this is France, this is England, and this was Germany. It says German and French hat just to symbolize. Her shirt says something about Japan, and she is holding a cup of tea. And during the imperialistic times, all 4 of these places actually stole from China, and so China was very upset, but they couldn't really do it. This was just happening all throughout the time. And right here was Africa, the shape of Africa, because that was also a big aspect, because they were using them as well. And then in this little corner, there is some opium, which was a common drug used during this time. And then randomly there is a gun, but it's not just any gun, it is the Maxim gun. And this was commonly used during the imperialism war. And yeah, I think that's it. Just get a little bit of the script. Here's just some of the script about the imperialism. This was actually my old art piece that I had gotten rid of, but I thought that I should just keep the facts because they're good facts. Okay, that is all of the presentation.